And action.
Today's talk is about simplicity. I see simplicity in nature, one harmonious event after another. Some still and invisible, and others catching my ear's attention with their sounds. At those exact moments, just before my mind has a chance to label and describe what it is, I feel the true essence of what life is. I take comfort in the peace and harmony of the way it is. Those precious moments, prior to sensory perception, are timeless and beautiful, and therefore free of suffering and judgment of any kind. In the moment, you are truly free to allow life to unfold as intended, through you and to another. Remember, the highest and the best flows from spirit, through spirit, to spirit. By allowing, you stop resisting, which in turn reduces suffering and eventually leads to more understanding. With that comes more tolerance and acceptance, which automatically leads to more peace and harmony, resulting in more love. There is no better way to live than this. Our higher selves always know what's best for us, and we would do well to pay attention to that inner guidance and allow life to teach us her earthly lessons, so that we can grow stronger and raise ourselves to new heights. Nature does not need electronics or sports cars or 24-hour movies on demand, so why should we? I wrote this talk with pen and paper and could just as easily have rewritten it out neatly instead of typing it on the laptop. How many of you would exchange your material things for natural pleasures? Work a bit slower and less hours in exchange for less stress and more time to spend doing what brings you the most joy. Would you rather spend more time at the beach or walking some of the nature trails instead of buying the latest iPhone and keeping up with the latest fashions in clothing? One doesn't need a lot of money to be content and happy. When I was a kid, the grown-ups would visit and socialize together quite often, and it didn't require much money to have a good time. There was no need to meet at a pub or restaurant. One family would simply invite a few others over, and sometimes each couple would bring a salad or a dessert that they made at home. The only thing they really needed was each other's company. Those were good times. How many of us have the time these days to just get together with friends, whip up a few homemade snacks, and just talk? Exchange some ideas, brainstorm a solution to a problem, or just be in good company to a friend who needs it. It's about what you need rather than what you think you want. Buying a new gadget or piece of jewelry may seem exciting at the time, but that won't keep you feeling truly content and satisfied for very long. Materials are temporary. As I write this, I have just left my job along with benefits, and I have no idea what my new source of income will be. But I know it was the right thing for me to do. After almost 9 years of taking public transit to Toronto, I finally realized that I don't need to spend my life in an unconscious state for the sake of a mortgage. I know that I will be taken care of in divine order, and all I can do to aid in that regard is to look for and recognize opportunities that will lead me to my goal, even if it's not exactly what I want. I have to move forward and learn. Take only what you need, instead of worrying about having enough. The universe has more than enough for everyone. Remember, we are all on different paths and should not be comparing our lives to those around us. We all chose our lessons to learn from as well as teach one another. And we need to keep ourselves from being distracted by material things as much as possible. All it takes is that first step, done consistently until it feels natural. Once you let go of fear and do what is appropriate for the whole, you open up a pathway for the universe to bring you what is most appropriate for your growth. We cannot always control our lives. We can only allow life to live through us and teach us what's needed for our evolution. Keep things as simple as possible. Do whatever you can for your loved ones, but set your boundaries. Find that perfect balance between work and play, and stick to it as best you can. When you find you can't, just take a step back to evaluate how to get back on track. Because when you're on track, you'll help others to get on track. Children are experts at being in the moment and keeping things simple. They give their full attention to what they are doing in that moment. What a wonderful way to live. They can teach us so many things that we have forgotten. Simple things, but very important things, such as priorities. Kids really just need each other and a good environment to be content. A meal when their bellies tell them it's needed, and some loving attention when they hurt themselves. They don't concern themselves with yesterday or tomorrow, and rightfully so, because they are not there. All their focus and energy is on the simple thought of right now. They don't hold grudges or worry about whether they will have enough time to get something done tomorrow or the next day. One of the reasons we make our lives more challenging than they need to be is because we tend to focus on fitting in with other people's ideals and goals. We are not meant to achieve and learn the same things or have the same material circumstances. Find out what your path is and focus on following it, regardless of what those around you are doing. It is better to follow a path of wisdom than a path of intellect. It is not how much factual information one can accumulate and recite at will, or how many projects one can manage at the same time. Rather, it is about how conscious we can be at all times, and how united and cooperative with life we allow ourselves to be. Gaining awareness of our true higher selves is what counts, and is what will bring us the most harmony and happiness. Isn't it ironic that the idea simplicity is something we all know the meaning of, yet it is something that so many of us struggle to maintain in our lives? There is great value in making things simple, because complexity can cause one to lose focus and veer off track. Too much detail can lead to confusion, and too much analysis is paralysis. Too many opinions spell conflict, and complex expert talk is unnatural jargon made to keep us dependent. Complication causes uncertainty and insecurity, and many of us don't like deciding among too many choices. Simplicity allows one to feel in control. Plainness is obvious reality itself, and it gives a sense of understanding. One who is able to translate complexity into simplicity has power. When you represent things in understandable form, you diminish uncertainty. This is the power to make things simple. However, when you do this, you are still personally responsible. We trust those who make us understand and reduce our doubts. And we often ask them what choices we have and what we can do. But we should never delegate part of our judgment and freedom. It is you, your interpretation, and your advice that determines what is truly simple for you. The sand on a beach and the stars in the sky are simple. Yet boiling an egg is complicated if you do not know how. The most complex thing that seems to count for us is change. The unknown is complicated. Taking things as they come is simple. Foreseeing what will happen is complicated. How to make things simple to understand is basically a cycle of things to do and things not to do. If you want to be listened to, you must listen in your turn. We all know from kindergarten that we should listen before we talk. This is why we have 2 ears and only 1 mouth. If something is not clear to you, ask for clarification. Also speak your own truth so that others will understand where you're coming from. Can this cycle of communication be any simpler? I'd like to invite everyone to take a few minutes for themselves during the week and make a list of a few things that you feel are no longer necessary in your life. Anything at all, whether it be a chore, a duty you've given yourself because no one else was willing, or perhaps a spending habit that's gotten a little out of hand. Or maybe even a job, as long as you live with someone who still works. Evaluate the things you are juggling in your life and do some decluttering and reshuffling. A change can be almost as good as a holiday. Take personal responsibility only for what is yours. And when assisting others, be sure not to stretch yourself too thin. Otherwise, you may end up not helping anyone, including yourself. When we have less, we want more. And when we have a lot more, we seem to want less. So which is it? I myself am expecting a very large amount of energy from Spirit in the form of cash any day now, so that I can continue maintaining my recently decluttered schedule and focus more on doing things I enjoy and assisting others around me. What are the more important things in your life? Keep it simple and do what is appropriate for the moment. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Andrew. That was fantastic. Fantastic. Wow. Good timing too, by the way.
Good?
Good timing. Well, at least for me, anyway. It is now time for our material offerings. If I could have Kelly and Cheryl. While the collection is going around, if we could sing the doxology, which is also, I think, in the front of the book as well. Praise God.
Praise God. Whom all blessings flow. Praise Him as on through life we go. Praise Him with heart and gladsome voice. As in truth's freedom we rejoice.
Thank you. Dear Mother, Father God, we ask that you bless the giver and ask that the monies received move our foundation forward to spread the word of spiritualism. Amen. Okay, announcements for today. As you know, you can smell it. We're having potluck today. This is our Thanksgiving potluck. Happy belated Thanksgiving to everyone. We have coming up, actually at the back there where all the flyers are, you'll find all the upcoming events posted on these sheets. We have our CDs, which are 3 meditations on this CD. They're $15 a piece. You can see, I think, who's selling them other than Truly. Just Truly selling them? Okay. If you're interested in one, you can either contact one of the board members. Truly actually has them.
Is there not a collection here somewhere?
No. I've changed all that. I only allowed one person to have them. Soul Rescue Workshop?
21st?
October 21st?
Something like that?
Yes. The Soul Rescue Workshop, if anyone's interested, will be here on the 21st. That is with myself and my lovely sister Linda. We talk about spirits and ghosts and how to deal with them and understand them and that kind of stuff. We have a musical rainbow workshop with Sharon Russell, and that is October the 28th. We have a psychic cafes coming up. We actually have one October the 26th. It is here and it is 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Okay, so we're trying something a little different. Okay, and that is $30 for 20-minute readings. Classes, I think, are closed now. Okay, so Tuesday night classes. Wednesday night is still open, circle, 7:30 here, okay, and it is $10. Thursday night, everything's closed, okay. Other than Wednesday nights, anything I missed?
I've been invited on to UOIT radio on Wednesday at 12 to 1.
Oh, excellent. We'll have to tune in for that one.
Adrian?
Linda?
Just this week.
Yeah, just to let our members know, if you haven't received the documentation already, we do have our annual general meeting coming up in November, and we certainly like as many of our members to attend as possible. If you're not able to attend, we've sent some documentation out, which is going to allow you to participate in that whole process. So keep your eye out in the mail for an envelope coming from the board of directors. So thank you so much.
Also, memberships are available. The forms, I think, are also in the back. Okay, where are we here? Our next song is Rubbed Out. It's in the garden, I think it's.
In the garden, I was gonna say, Ally, if you're doing this, these are your songs here, honey.
Well, it was there, now it's not. So,
It's
but
still
it is number 14, which is in the garden. That is our next song. Please and thank you.
I come to the garden alone, while the dew is still on the roses, and the voice I hear falling on my ear, the love of God discloses. And He walks with me, and He talks with me, and He tells me I am His own. And the joy we share as we tarry there, none other has ever known. He speaks and the sound of His voice is so sweet, the birds hush their singing, and the melody that He gave to me within my heart is ringing. And He walks with me, and He talks with me, and He tells me I am His own. And the joy we share as we tarry there, none other has ever known. I stay in the garden within, though the night around me is falling, but He bids me go through the voice of woe. His voice to me is calling. And He walks with me, and He talks with me, and He tells me I am His own. And the joy we share as we tarry there, none other has ever known.
Again, I love that song. It gets me every single time. I don't know, sometimes when just certain songs just resonate, for some reason, this song just resonates. I think it just brings out the big suck in me. Don't tell anybody. Nobody knows that. That deep down, it's a big suck. No telling anybody. It doesn't go out of this room. Secrets. Once again, I would like to ask Andrew to come to the floor. He will be giving Proof of Survival today. If you could just give him your voice when he comes to you. Andrew.
And come to the lady with the glasses, the back.
Please.
And what I'm seeing with you is, it's a picture basically, it's basically a flame from a candle with a circular round glow, something like you would see as if it was drawn in an animation book. It's a bright yellow circle with a flame in the center of it. And it's around, I'm sensing it's around nighttime. It's dark, it's late at night. And this flame is very thick, and the brightness, although it's dark, is very large. And I feel or I sense that there's strength in that flame. That flame is representative of yourself. And it's a strong red flame in a very strong circle of a yellow, like a sunshine glow. So I am being told there's a lot of darkness surrounding you that's very close to you, but you're hanging on, you're strong, you have a lot of inner strength, you have a lot of love around you that's in your close circle, that's close to you. And that darkness that's around you is starting to be lit up with dozens and dozens of tiny, bright, shining stars. So no matter what is going on around you that's negative or unpleasant, it's going to get better. The light is going to start to break through and shine through to you. And it'll bring you the strength that you are needing at this time. And I'll leave that with you and say God bless. Bonnie, may I come to you?
Yes,
I'm shown a large slender flower. Could be an iris, nice green stalk with a bit of a lilac in it, and a bit of white little specks. I'm not sure if it represents baby's breath or if it's symbolic of something totally different. This little white just reminds me of baby's breath. It's sort of right around the flower itself. And this flower is getting much thicker and stronger and healthier, and it's shooting up, it's just getting taller. And I'm getting the word strength with it. Sensing a lot of strength that's developing or growing at the moment. I'm being told to tell you, I'm seeing Norman, and to tell you that he's fine. You know, his head's bobbing to and fro. He's so-so. Not too bad, not too good, everything's fine. He's happy. And there's a nice daybreak setting that's surrounding him. It's kind of the start of a new day. Everything's nice, the weather's good, the sun's coming out. And just to let you know that he's feeling content and happy. And to let you know all will be well. I'll leave that with you in a second.
Thank you.
And I came to the gentleman with the jacket in the corner. As I was drawn to you, I was shown a silver Zippo lighter, kind of like the thick, fancy, the flip open, you know which lighter I'm talking about. I'm shown the Zippo lighter and kind of like a thick patch of leather, a dark black and brown piece of leather. I'm not sure if it's an item of clothing, but I'm just shown it's almost as thick as a baseball mitt. Thick piece of leather and this lighter. And the light is being flipped and flicked, but the flame is not igniting. And and given this, the words, it's time to pack it away. So whatever that lighter is representing, something needs to be packed away, and you know, you're done with it. It just needs to be packed away. This piece of leather that I'm seeing, it's got the thick stitching, the same as what you'd see on a mitt. The stitching is now unwinding itself, it's coming apart, and the leather is separating into two pieces. So basically, I get the sense that something needs to be shed or lightened. You need to sort of separate or drop a part of you that I guess you don't need anymore, or need to sort of move forward from. And you know, just let go, and I'm getting a feeling of a lot more lightness. So it's kind of you're letting a bit of a load go, separating from something and just moving forward. And bright horizons coming up right over it. It's like a flat desert plain. It's around just before sunrise, and got a nice flat open road, and the sun's coming up, and you've got all the time in the world to head out and move forward, and I'll leave that with you and say God bless. Katie, may I come to you?
Certainly, Andrew.
For you, I'm seeing a nice bunch of marbles, big bulky bag of marbles, but very, very single color and very thick, strong colors. Almost like Smarties or M&Ms, like they're all strong colors. Purples, reds, and a very unusual green. Like a nice green that's got an attractive kind of glow to it. And I'm seeing this bag of marbles for you. And the netting that's holding the marbles together is now split open, but the marbles are kind of still bunched up together. They're kind of, some of them at the bottom have come sort of floating down, but they're still all kind of hovering together. So they're kind of still kept close to one another. They haven't just sort of dropped and scattered. Okay. I have the sense that you need to just pick out a few of them on the side. Pick them out one by one, and get that bunch nice and thin, nice and slender. Thin it out. There's a few things that need to be picked out. Just a few at a time. And this, I believe, is coming from an angelic energy form. I'm not sure if it's male or female. And as these marbles are being picked out, the whole bunch just kind of turns, it's like white crystal. It just brightens up. There's lots of light. And I just get the sense that this is the way you need to approach whatever it is that you need to work on or figure out. And I'll leave that with you and say God bless.
Thank you, Andrew.
Rita, may I come to you? For you, I'm shown a very, very large wooden crucifix. Really huge, like that thick, twice my height. And it's basically just standing on, it's just brown earth, just soil, nothing else in the vicinity, it's just standing there. There's no one on it, it's just an empty cross. And it's basically leaning forward and making its way down, it's about to collapse onto the ground. And I sense it's something to do with a belief system you have in particular of something. I'm not saying it's your overall belief, something you have a particular belief about something that needs to be scrapped and reprogrammed, changed, move on from that, and find out what it is that now works for you. You've had that belief however long you've had it, needs to be updated and revised. You need to make a change for that. And just before I leave you with that, I also got the name Mari or Marie, M-A-R-I-E. I believe it's probably just a guide that's coming through for you. And I'll leave that with you and take that list. Okay, I'm called to time, so anybody
Really?
else would like, yeah. Anybody else would like to, can we go?
Sure.
Thank you.
Okay, no, it's cool. May I come to you? There's actually, I see a lady standing behind you. I would almost say, you know, in The Wizard of Oz, there was Glinda the Good Witch, and then there was the sister,
Wicked Witch of the West.
the Wicked Witch of the West. Kind of reminds me of actually that kind of lady, but people perceived her to be a little bit on the hard side. But it wasn't that she was hard, she was very matter of fact. And it was, she preferred things to be in a specific order. Okay, so if you had a task to do, you had to do it, she would line it out as to how it had